Yo, live from Culver City, California. The Blind Barber sitting next to. Yo, man, listen, I'm a huge sports fan. Y'all know I'm a fanatic. So, like, when I get to sit next to guys, like the guys next to me right here, like, I'm giddy like a kid. Yo, Kenyon Barner, thank you,
Appreciate
thank you, man. What's going on? Let's talk.
you. Ain't too much, man. How we doing? How we living?
I'm blessed. I woke up this morning.
Look, that's the word. You know what
I
I'm saying?
like
Somebody didn't
there's
get that opportunity.
yeah there's other
Hey.
alternatives and we here. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
I had a great morning before I came up here. Actually, like I was sharing with you, I know George.
Hmm.
Both of our daughters play club volleyball for a club in Long Beach called Mizuno. So had a couple errands, needed to stop by there and drop off some things before
Yeah,
coming up here. So just full morning, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? About to go enjoy the family and then jump on a red eye tonight. Got to get to Florida,
Okay.
specifically a place called Okeechobee.
Where is that?
I'm flying into Fort Lauderdale. It's
No
about
disrespect,
no, it's
but
all
where is
good.
that? Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half away from Fort Lauderdale, maybe 2 hours from Orlando. It's 45 minutes from West Palm. Um, and my client, my artist client, young brother Kevin Smiley, he lives there. We're
Okay.
shooting his second video. He just signed a crazy deal with Gamma,
Okay.
recording Gamma and Rebel, and yeah, we're shooting the second video. So I'm gonna go there, do that, and then I'll be there till late Monday night. I jump on a red eye and get back to LA, and you know,
Shaking and moving.
so it's yeah, just moving. Exciting times. But let's talk about you, Mr. Hall of Fame
Yes,
inductee,
sir. Yes, sir.
Oregon Duck Hall of Fame inductee. We're gonna go through everything, but how does that feel, man?
Man, it's a blessing. Um, and it's for me. The accomplishment is for me, but it's more so for my family. You know what I'm saying? For my mom, my dad, my brothers, and my sisters, everything that they sacrificed, everything they did for me to get to Oregon, none of it was done in vain. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's like the ultimate reward for them, knowing that everything that they did, everything that they put in, everything they poured into me, it all paid off.
They were all invested.
Oh yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
you just
Listen,
named, everybody was
my
invested.
mom, bro, my dad. I mean, as a kid, you don't understand what your parents is doing in order to make things work, make things happen. So, my dad never missed a game, not a single game while I was in college, whether it was home or away. Never missed a game. My parents was incurring debt, credit card debt, making sure that I had somebody at games. So, from that standpoint, me coming home, calling my sister Isha, um, I need to train. Can you pay for me to go train up at the Home Depot Center? Her and my dad coming together, spending money to make sure I was straight for the season. So my brothers being there support. So everybody that I named and some all played a part in me being able to maintain and sustain at Oregon and be able to have the type of career that I had. So it's for me it's I love it. I'm appreciative of it, but that's for my family. That's for my friends. That's for my group of friends that I came up with at Oregon that made sure I was going to class. And you know what I'm saying? That was there for me in them hard times where if it's times where I wanted to leave school, they made sure I stayed. So that's just for everybody that helped me get to that place and make that. So
Yo, they say it takes a village,
man, it
right?
took a village.
It
It took
takes
a
a village,
village.
and they also say if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together.
Yeah, yeah,
And it sounds like your family was all of that,
man.
all of that. What early days for you? What? Tell me, where you from?
So from the LA, but I grew up in the IE. Merino Valley is the place that created me. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Merino
okay,
Valley, like I
okay.
said, I'm from LA, but
Mo Valley.
Mo Val, you know what
Okay,
I'm saying? I claim that to the death of me. Grew up with five brothers, one sister.
okay,
My parents been married 36 years, going on 36 years now. Yeah, so I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest of the group.
okay,
So growing up with five boys, you can imagine how that was.
okay.
It wasn't no time to be, couldn't be soft. Wasn't no,
They
wasn't.
wasn't having it.
No, he was getting roughed up, was getting chased around.
Okay,
But that's who really set the foundation for me in this sport world. Watching my brothers, watching my sister ran track,
okay,
and was a hell of a track athlete. Should have
okay.
went to school, but stayed home, worked, and got involved with the working world. But And it was a time growing up. Family, my mom, my dad worked, you know, so it was a lot of times it's just me and my brothers. All we had was each other, my brothers and my sister. That's really all we had growing up. My dad had moved us out of LA and our entire family was here.
Okay.
So you can imagine how close we became having no uncles, no aunts, no cousins, just us in the household. So my childhood was amazing, bro. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. The laughter, the memories, the tears, the trouble. We got in a lot of trouble growing up.
How many times was y'all playing football with the sock in the house?
Too many times. You know what I'm saying? We broke vases and
Shit got
everything.
tore up. Things got tore up in the house.
Yeah. So, you know, it was a time, like I said, my brothers, my sister, you know, they made my childhood what it was.
So you went to high school, I think, Notre Dame?
Went to high school. So I started at Calvary Chapel, Merino Valley, which is a small private school down in Merino Valley. I started there. It was 8-man football.
Okay.
So that's where I started at. And then going into my junior year, I transferred to Riverside, Notre Dame.
Okay.
And that's where I finished up high school. And man,
I'd never heard. I knew the Notre Dame in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
But I didn't know in Riverside, so that was okay.
And back in the day, Riverside Notre Dame was like a powerhouse.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Okay.
Now when I went there, that wasn't really the case. They was kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
But we turned that around. Shout out to Notre Dame.
And because the other powerhouse school that I knew about in the IE was in Corona.
Centennial.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I think Coach Logan.
Because I remember them because they had this linebacker that everybody calls a dirty player.
You talking about Tez, Vontaze?
Yeah.
Vontaze,
Because he had
dog.
committed to USC and then ended up going to Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had a couple cats, especially when I was coming out. They had Scott was at quarterback. You had Ryan Bass at running back. McGee. They had some
squad.
guys. They had some dudes.
Yeah,
they had some real dudes. I played in a all-star game against San Diego County.
Okay.
And it was probably like 6-7 dudes from Centennial on that all-star team.
You was like, what if I had went to Centennial?
Man, boy.
Play behind that O-line.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine what that would have been.
But it worked out.
Absolutely.
It worked out. So, Oregon. So were you a highly recruited?
I was a 3-star guy coming out.
Okay.
My offer from Oregon, they were recruiting a running back that was in our, I'm going to say conference, league. They were in our league out of San Jacinto. I think his name was Ryan Kessman, a running back out of San Jacinto High.
Okay.
My offer came from playing against them. I had a game balled out, and I ended up taking his offer. They gave me his scholarship. So no, I wasn't highly recruited. Once I committed to Oregon, that's when the floodgates opened. That's when, you know, the Washington Canes, the SCs, the UCLA, few other
you'd
schools.
already made your commitment.
Yeah, I'd already committed to Oregon. And the way I grew up, it was once you gave your word, there wasn't no going back on that.
Okay.
So even when SC came along in UCLA, that's right in the backyard. I would have loved to have been home, but I needed to get away so I can go become the man that I am today.
Okay. Yo, I shared with you before we turned the lights on in here. Eugene has become a special place for me. I love going to Eugene.
Yeah.
Went to 2 or 3 games this year. Went to 3 games total. Went to 2 at Eugene, and then I went for the Pac-12 championship at Allegiant when they played UW.
Okay. Yeah.
Wish it would have turned out better, but you know, it is what it is. But I to go back. Eugene is a special town.
It's a special
man.
Place.
Like I walked from the hotel to the venue. You know what I'm saying? And as you're walking, all the tailgating that's going on, and the fans just like, I mean, it's just a sea of gold and green and everything. It's a great environment. Probably a lot like I would assume like Storrs, Connecticut is for UConn. Right? Because that's all you guys have. And, and the fans are they're real fans.
Man, that fan base is special. You want to talk about being in support of an athlete? That's that fan base. I've been going from that school. How long it's been? Yeesh, it's been a lot of years. since 2013, so
Wow.
11 years.
Okay.
But still to this day, when I go back, the
I can
love is
only
as if,
imagine.
you know what I'm saying? It's as if I'm still there.
You ain't paid for a meal in Eugene in
Now
a
they
long
take care of
time.
me out there. They take care of me out there. They really do.
You ain't paid for a
They
meal
take
in
care of me out
Eugene in
there.
a long
Shout out to
time.
Eugene. No, it's just a special place, like you said. There's nothing else there. So we are the professional team, really, in the state of Oregon. Outside of the Blazers, it's
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
imagine the love and the admiration that the fan base has. And then college football in itself, when you come from a small town like that, it's generations upon generations upon generations of fandom within families.
Yo, it's crazy because I was fortunate enough to sit in the box when I was at it was the Colorado Oregon game, and I was in the box of I want to say the AD, whoever
Okay.
the AD is, and Coach
Right.
Dana Outman, the basketball coach, was in there, and I was in there with Coach, a friend of mine who's back at Oregon. I told you, Coach Stubbs, and but the people around me, they were like, well, my mom went to Oregon, and her mom went to Oregon. Well, she's the only one, whatever, and she went to UW, but we don't,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You like, but all of these,
Yeah.
it's generations.
It's entrenched.
Yeah,
It's entrenched in these families.
yeah. So talk to me about, you leave the IE, you go to Eugene, Oregon, right? That airport is tiny as
You
shit.
in and out. Get off the plane, you in the front of the airport.
Yeah. That airport might
It's
like,
small.
yeah, it might.
It's small.
It's small. Like Long Beach Airport might feel like LAX compared to
That, absolutely.
to that spot.
Probably three gates there,
Yeah.
4 gates there.
Yeah, but you get off the plane from the IE. You're in Eugene. You dorm, all of this and everything. I don't know where you were on the depth chart. I don't know what you were told, but you get there and there's guys obviously 4 or 5 years older. They're seniors and everything, and they're playing to try to get to the league, right?
Absolutely.
So the competition, I'm sure, is just in practice is stiff
Crazy.
and all of that.
Yeah.
Is there a moment during that process, even though you're excited to be there and you know that you belong, that you're like, I'm going home, or I'm leaving, or I'm not, this ain't it for me?
Well, firstly, we didn't hop on a plane. We drove to Eugene, okay? We took that 14-hour trip.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
Your
drove.
parents dropped you off.
Yeah, my parents.
That's
my
beautiful.
mom, my dad, my brothers, and my sister.
Dropped you off.
Absolutely.
Y'all took a van.
I don't know what we was in. It might have been in my dad's.
Or a tour bus.
We was in something, but yeah, drove up there, dropped me off.
That's beautiful, bro.
That's the type of family.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but it was tough because I had never been away from my family. I think the longest period of time I had been away was maybe 3 days.
Okay.
From the age from birth to 18, 19.
Okay.
So when we got past LA, I broke down. I'm like, wait a minute, where we going? I don't know nobody past here. When we got through that, got to the campus, man, and so I went to Oregon as a DB.
Okay.
And so the room that I was in a room.
You came as a DB.
Yeah, so I committed to Oregon as a defensive back.
Okay.
So I was in the room when I got there. I was in a room with Jarius Bird, Walter Thurman, Patrick Chung, TJ Ward, Titus Jackson, Talmadge Jackson, Anthony Gilden. I'm forgetting.
Wait a sec. You naming some dogs.
Nah, I was in a room.
With some dogs.
I was in a real room.
Yeah.
Crazy room. And so I believe our room was different than any other room on the team. The mindset, the mentality that we called ourselves the D-boys.
Okay.
And so my first day on the field with these guys, I'm from high school. So we finished practice. I take my helmet off. I'm walking off the field. Patrick Chung walk up to me. Hey, D-boys don't walk off the field. We run off.
Wow.
All right. So that's the type of mentality. Competition-wise, you would have thought these dudes disliked each other when we got on that field. The way they talked to each other, the way they was out there hidden. It was eye-opening. It was kind of like, am I ready for this? Am I, these are grown men I'm looking at, big boys. I'm like, am I ready?
Still sharp and still though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I ready for this? So from a football standpoint, having those guys take to me the way that they did and pour into me, the curve, it was sped up. you know, I was able to catch on and okay, and find my rhythm. But going to Eugene from the IE, it was a culture shock.
Got
You know
it.
what I'm saying? So it got to a point my senior year, not my senior year, but my freshman year, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm done. I'm I'm
You
going
going
back to
back to the
Cali.
house.
I had been in contact with UCLA. So I'm like, yeah, I'm done here. I need to be back where I know people. I need to be back where I'm familiar. I need to go back to where the weather's good. 'Cause you know,
Yo, it's brick out
yeah, you
there.
know, it's gonna rain majority of the time, and
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't. I'm from California. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
a
yeah,
cold
yeah.
winter for us is 55 degrees and still some
Yeah,
sunshine.
yeah, yeah.
So it just took some adjusting, but that was the hard part, just getting acclimated to that Eugene lifestyle. From a football standpoint, I loved it. From the time I got there,
But
just
the
'cause
moment you get away from the field, it's really different, right?
it's real life.
Yeah.
It's you out of that football bubble.
There's only a couple of places
It,
around the
yeah,
campus,
there
and
was, especially
their
in the
downtown
summertime,
is like,
you
yeah,
could
it's
walk
different.
from here to across the street, get through
Yeah,
downtown.
yeah, yeah.
But in the summertime, there's nobody there. There's no students. Like it's a college town.
Yeah.
So all you're there with is the football team. And I didn't know none of these cats yet. So
Okay, okay.
like I said, getting acclimated and finding my crew, finding my network of people.
Your tribe, so
Yeah,
to speak. Yep,
absolutely.
yep, yep.
I didn't have that at first, so
Okay.
I was miserable. I'm like, man, I miss my family. I miss my homeboys. I miss my homegirls. I'm trying to get back home and get around that. But them guys that I mentioned, the Walter Thurmans, the Patrick Chungs, the TJ Wards, the Anthony Gildens, you know, when they caught wind of it, they pulled up on me. Like, oh,
Wow.
where you think you're going? Nah. You came here for a reason. You gonna stick this out and we gonna get you right. And it was the greatest decision I ever made for my life.
Community is everything.
Everything.
Community is everything.
I say this to people: a place is only as good as the company you keep.
Cause any place, right? You could have went to. I'm just saying, you could have went to New Mexico State. I don't. But if the community is not, you know, embracing you and nurturing you
Yeah.
and saying, hey, like you said, they pulled up on you and said, look, you here for a reason.
for a reason.
You're here in your purpose. They're helping you cultivate your purpose. That must have meant everything.
It did. It gave me, like I said, I grew up with my brothers and my sister. It
So
gave
now
me.
you like,
I got my older brothers. I got Pat
Yeah.
Chung, who's still one of my close dogs. Eddie Pleasant, Walter Thurman, dudes that really took me up under their wing, calling, checking on me. You good? You need anything? I'm coming to get you. You coming to my house? We gonna chill. And then I met my crew of people my age. I locked in with LaMichael. Was like a brother to me. Took care of me while I was up there when I needed some help. Just I met my people.
you and Michael still talk to this
Yeah,
day? Okay.
absolutely. Me and LaMichael was on the phone last week.
Okay. Okay.
But I met my core people, Tufa, Salih, Sham, Trevor, Andrew, Marissa. I met my people.
Okay.
And once I locked in with my community, it was smooth sailing after that.
smooth
It was
sailing.
smooth sailing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, again, I think I saw the date, but I know you guys are playing the Ducks will be playing the University of Illinois when you're inducted. Yeah, I gotta go to that game now.
Well,
I
come
gotta
on
go.
then.
I know you. I gotta pull up
Come
at the
on
game.
there. Come on up
You know what
there.
I'm saying? I don't need a reason to go to Eugene. You know what I mean? It's this one hotel there too that I stay at.
Where you stay?
The Four. Is it called the Four?
Um,
You know what I'm
I
talking
know
about?
exactly what you're talking
Something
about.
at the Four. or
Yeah, but they got.
Little fly joint though.
Have you been to the Graduate?
I like the Graduate. It's right by the Graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nike store is right there. It's all close.
Yeah, you know Eugene.
Yeah. The Graduate, the first night, as soon as I always get there, you just go up to the rooftop.
Yep.
You know, drinks.
Absolutely.
No, it's a beautiful place. I'm gonna stay at the Graduate this time because the last couple times I didn't stay at this other joint. I need to,
Yeah, get
you
a
know,
taste of
get
something
get a
different.
taste a little something different. So then, you, man, your college career, like so you again. Let's start with the fact that I'm mind blown. So you started on the defensive side
Started
of
on
the
the defensive
ball.
side of the ball.
Who's the coach or what's the situation that says you need to be over here? You need to be behind the old line,
So we
getting the
were
rock
we were
20,
in
30 times a
spring
game.
ball, and it's funny because at the time I was actually fighting for a spot going into my red shirt freshman year to start on the defense side of the ball at nickel.
Okay.
So I had found my groove at DB.
Okay.
We had a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball in the running back room. I think Lamike had hurt his shoulder. LeGarrette was hurt. I think Dre Crenshaw.
Like let's be LeGarrette.
Yeah,
Blunt.
LeGarrette Blunt.
Just so
Yeah,
y'all know.
yeah. Another dog, another dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, LG was hurt. I think Remine Austin had broken his foot. So all they had at that time was Dre Crenshaw. I had a pick in our spring practices, right before in our spring practice. It was spring. Did what I did with the ball after practice. Chip came to me and was like, "So, how do you feel about helping the offense out at running back?" Me? Because when they were recruiting me, Coach Oz, who was a tight end coach at the time, he told me, "We're not going to recruit you at running back because you're too small," and it broke my heart. That's all I had ever done.
Yeah.
So he said, "I'm not going to tell you that there won't be a time that you won't be able to play running back, but
That's not what I'm recruiting.
that's not what you're coming here for."
Okay.
So running back wasn't even in my mind no more. So when he came to me, I lit up more like a house full of lights. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So he came, went to the offensive side of the ball. First day, made some nice runs. It was nice. It was smooth. Caught my rhythm. I was supposed to be going both ways.
Okay.
That was a caveat to me going over to that side. I'm like, okay, I'll still be able to be at the defensive side of playing defensive back, and I'll be going both ways. So yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
He never let me go back. I used to ask my John Neal, who was the DB coach, "Coach, when am I coming back?" "I don't think you're coming back."
You're not coming back
He
over
was like, "I don't think
here.
you're coming back."
Got it.
And I didn't. He never let me go back to that side of the ball.
Got it.
And it stuck. And that was all she wrote.
Yo, y'all had, again, you, LaMichael James, like,
Yeah, backs.
you talking about backs.
Backs. But even go back to our freshman here, Jeremiah Johnson, who in my opinion is one of the best running backs to go through Oregon.
Okay.
He don't get the respect, didn't have the accolades, but if you watched him play,
watch that tape, you know
he's special.
Yeah.
So Jeremiah Johnson, LeGarrette Blunt, then came LaMichael and myself. Then after us, it was DeAnthony Thomas. It was Byron Marshall. Yeah.
Who was your quarterback?
So I started with Jeremiah Masoli.
Okay.
Then it was Darren Thomas.
Yep.
And then I had Marcus for a year before I got out of there.
Got it.
Yeah. So we
Mariota.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Okay.
The Oregon GOAT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baller.
Absolutely.
Baller.
Quiet assassin.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna say too much to you, but going.
The Ooses up there, they just go about
They go about their business. I love
their culture.
Their culture, their approach to life. Like nothing shakes them. Nothing shakes them.
It's just it's par for the course.
Yeah.
It's a part of life.
I didn't understand that with Masoli at quarterback. I'm like, bro, you gonna yell sometime? But he was even killed. He came to me, "Hey, bro, we not doing that. Come on, let's go. Let's get this going." I'm like, all right. That's but just the mentality and the mindset is so different.
Got it.
And Marcus was no different. They embody that culture and that way of life. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a very, again, like you said, very even kill, very. I think it's also because of how entrenched they are in their faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they believe, like, listen, this is, whether it's, pulling at the heartstrings or it's the brightest day on earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part.
Yeah.
It's a part of the journey, and we have to accept it.
Absolutely.
And because of that, I think that's also, like, they are so indoctrined in their faith from an early on.
age.
You know what I mean? Like I said, my daughter plays at a club and strong poly contingent, right? And everybody going to church.
Yeah.
Everybody, everybody deep into their faith and everything. I was reading something. Your faith. everything to you.
I wouldn't be anywhere near the man that I am today without my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Okay.
At one point in time in my life, I'll say I didn't fear God, but God's love made me fear Him. And when I became fearful of His love and the love, man, listen, there is nothing more powerful that a person can do for themselves than accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. What He has done in my life, what He has allowed me to see, what He has kept me from, what He is doing even now in this moment. God is everything to me. God is everything. Absolutely everything.
I feel it coming off of you.
I get emotional.
I can see. That's what I'm
do,
saying. Yeah.
Because I know where I've been.
Okay.
I know what He's kept me from.
Okay.
And I know what He's brought me to. So there is nothing more important. I told my lady this, and I'm sure it wasn't comfortable for her to hear. I said, you or nobody will never come before God. I love you, but He will be my number one. I don't care what it is. I don't care what we're doing. God will be my number one. There's nothing more important in my life than Jesus Christ, bro. Nothing.
There you go.
Man.
There you go.
That's a whole conversation.
That's a whole lot. So we're gonna do another interview.
Yeah.
Here's what we should do. I'm for real. Hey, listen, Herb, we're gonna hold him to this. We're gonna come to Eugene when you get inducted. We're gonna do an interview the night before.
Okay.
We're gonna have the whole family there.
Absolutely.
We need to have all the siblings
They're
there.
gonna be there.
And let's have a conversation. I'm serious.
No, we locked in.
We're gonna get it straight.
We locked in.
Yeah, we're gonna get it straight. I don't need many reasons to go see a football game, but when you meet a quality individual, and I can feel it. And Chunk, he'll tell you.
Shout out to Chunk.
Listen, Chunk is, me and Chunk been riding for a minute. And we got some stories. Yo, he done DJ'd for pretty much every group that I've ever had signed to a major company or just, and then life friend, pull up and DJ for my birthday parties.
Yeah.
He don't care if it's, at Tao or if it's in the backyard, as long as it's like good energy and whatever. And y'all can't see Chunk, but Chunk was also the one that facilitated this. And has always been a facilitator and everything. So I appreciate you, bro.
Shout out to you, cuz I love you, bro.
Yep. Seriously, good dude, right?
Absolutely.
Super
Absolutely.
good dude. So no, we doing that. I'll get the date locked in because we got to do that. I'll do in that way we can get into that.
Yeah.
Because that's the abundant part of the story, right?
Really, when you meet
the fam, then I'll even get it. Yeah, you'll get even more of it.
You'll have a deeper understanding about who I am and who God is to our family.
I already feel like even from the short things, prior to the interview, obviously doing a bit of research. I don't like to go crazy because then I feel like I don't know. I'm not surprised, and I want to be surprised, like you just told me about the you being on the defensive side of the ball. I heard that about Richard Sherman because Richard Sherman was a wide receiver at first when he got to Stanford. He wasn't playing DB, and now he's going to get a gold jacket.
Yeah,
for sure he's getting a gold jacket.
Without a doubt.
He's going to get a gold jacket. And so these pivotal moments and the way we accept them and everything, and you accepted to play on that side of the ball, and that helped you get to the next plateau, which was the league, which. And even that I've read about the ups and downs, but the thing that I got from your story was resilience and persistence. Yeah. And even though you could have in those moments, playing for a couple of teams, it could have killed your confidence, and I'm sure there were moments it did, and especially after the collegiate career that you had, you was like a Heisman guy, you know what I mean? Yeah. So. And you going into the league, and then let's talk about draft day, the day draft day, and let's go into it. Talk to me about draft day.
Draft day was the most nerve-wracking, exciting, heartbreaking, every emotion that you could think of, I felt during that draft. My agent told me, "Don't watch the draft. You go do something with your family." But of course, now
I'm gonna watch the draft. We're gonna have a party.
Yeah, and so
Were you in the IE?
yeah,
Okay.
I was at home with the family.
A lot of people over that day.
No,
Just y'all.
I wanted to be who helped me get there. That's
Got
what I
it.
wanted. I didn't
Got
want
it.
no party.
Got it.
This was for me, my family, and those that helped me get there.
Got it.
So when you're watching the draft, you see people go before you they're not better than me.
Yeah.
They didn't do what I did. So you go through all these different emotions, man. But I'll give you a quick little story. I got a call. I was projected to go in the fourth.
Yeah.
I get a call, I think it was like the third, maybe a fourth round, from a Carolina number. It's the running back coach from the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah. He calls me. "Hey, this Kenjon? Yeah. Hey, baby, I just want to tell you to hold on. I just want to tell you to hang in there. It's like a boxing match. You know, you got to take these blows."
You thinking he about to call and tell you like we about to call your name?
Because this is how it. Don't call my phone today. I don't want to. Don't nobody call my phone.
Yeah.
These next couple of days is strictly draft day.
Yeah.
So when I see this out of town number pop up, this is it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get excited. Just hang in there. You calling me? Okay, so boom. So go through that. A couple more rounds go by. Get into the sixth round. I finally hear my name called, man, and it was the most from a tears. You want to talk about tears of joy? I cried like a baby. I sobbed, broke down. You know, you watch the draft as a kid all the way. You seeing these guys get their name called, rock across the stage, or the days after, you're still hearing guys get their names called. So to play the sport and be in that position, this is everything that you thought it would be. This is everything that you dreamed of. This is that moment in time where you've worked so hard to get here, and now it's here. So it was excitement. It was joy, satisfaction, validation. Man, it was everything. It's hard to put that feeling into words, not only for myself but my family, because they poured so much in, but they felt the emotions that I was feeling prior to.
Yeah.
And so as it getting later, you're wondering, am I gonna get my name called? Is this gonna happen? And then so forth. Finally, that happened. It was, like I said, it was just validation and just a moment that I was fortunate enough to be able to share with my family and still be able to have that with them.
So you get the call. Is it like I see the next day you literally get on the plane?
No, so we had
How does it work?
I had about a week before I had to report.
Okay.
So I got drafted on the 27th. My birthday was the following day on the 28th. So I had yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we ended up
where was y'all at?
We went to Playhouse.
Okay.
Absolutely. We went to Playhouse. Shout out to Marley and Brandon. So we set it up at Playhouse. We had a draft party / birthday party at Playhouse. Had everybody. My sister came out, my brothers, all my boys, my homegirls. You know, we had a great time.
Okay.
And so I ended up leaving the following week for rookie minicamp.
Okay.
So preparing for that.
Where's rookie minicamp at?
It was in Carolina.
Okay.
Out in Charlotte.
Okay.
So I got drafted to the Carolina Panthers.
Okay. So look, the coach told you to hold on.
He told me to hold on. Got that second call.
Okay.
We pulling you off the board.
All right. So, you like, don't play with me this time.
Yeah. When I seen the number pop back, I'm like,
yeah.
I don't need another pep talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, so got the call, went off to rookie minicamp. And again, it was like we talked about with Oregon, walking in as a freshman. It was now you went from the top of the totem pole to now you starting at the bottom again. So it's hard to put that into words, man.
I think I understand it though. Not to cut you off, because like I'm in a we do this, but I'm in the recording business, right? So like when an artist gets signed, and it could have been every label after him, right? Like bidding war.
Yeah.
yeah, when they're after you, you get the deal, blah blah blah. But then as soon as you get the deal, you got to go to
You
work,
gotta go to
and you're
work.
not the biggest person at the
No,
label.
no,
Like you're not Adele. You're not keeping the lights
no.
on at Columbia. You're not B. You're not keeping the lights
Nah.
on. You're not Drake at
Yeah,
Republic. You know what I
you
mean? So I
absolutely
get it. So
understand
you
that.
like, oh my God, I gotta work again. That's
But
when the work
but
starts.
even then, being drafted, it came with a certain level of favor
Okay.
because
You are
I'm
drafted.
drafted.
Yeah.
So I'm not
You're
coming.
not you're not an
Yeah,
undrafted free agent or coming off a practice squad or anything. Yeah.
and they wanted me. So
Okay.
so there's some level of favor there.
You understand that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understood that.
Okay. Okay.
The first day, no, because
Okay.
in my mind, my journey in sports, I've always been a grinder. I don't
Yeah.
care what the circumstance was. I don't care what the accolades are.
Got it.
I'm gonna put my head down. I'm gonna go to work. That's
Got
just
it.
been my mo.
Got it.
And so, as time went on with rookie minicamp, I'm treated as that guy because there's nobody else. The guy I was drafted with 5 guys: Star, KK, Coob, AJ, and myself.
Okay.
And so, in our rookie minicamp, we're their guys. I didn't notice the difference until we actually joined the team. Then you understand, oh no, you're down at the bottom of this totem pole. Go to work. You're not Jonathan Stewart, you're not D'Angelo Williams, you're not Mike Tolbert, you're none of these guys, so get to work.
Them dudes was hog.
Yeah,
Tolbert was
absolutely.
a hog. D'Angelo, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so it was that starting over, but it's the journey of it all. We oftentimes get caught up in a destination, but it was everything that in that in between space that made the draft, my time in Carolina, that made it so special. And having guys like Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams, Mike Tolbert, Steve Smith, Jordan Gross, getting a bunch of older guys grab hold of me in that time, pull me up under their wing and kind of show me the ropes, show me how to be a pro, show me how to practice, show me how to watch film, made that transition so much easier.
I was just talking about this on the previous episode. Again, community is everything. Community can uplift you,
Yeah.
or it can, depending on the community that you've created, it can look like a cage, right?
Yeah.
Um, you you seem to make good choices in, first people invest in you, but I think like when people invest in you, I feel like they see things in you or in us where it's like, this is also going to help me grow. Because there's growth in investing in someone
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
You may feel like you're helping them, but they're also helping you. You're learning. There's a reason that you're drawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like that's been your story. People rally around you, man.
That's been my entire life. I don't get to where I was able to get to without the people that attach themselves to me and the people that I attach myself to.
Absolutely.
I just don't. That's the bottom line. I'm not self-made.
Yeah. None of us are.
But oftentimes people like to,
Yeah.
oh, I'm self-made. I did it on my own.
No, you didn't.
Nothing that I did
Grace
was on my own.
yeah.
Nothing. Whether it was from up high with Jesus or the people that He blessed me with. I've the people that I use Steve Smith. I didn't even play receiver, but Steve made me. He made me. Okay, he made me. I used to have to drive him to the hotel before. We would stay in a hotel nights before games or whatever, and then Steve would just come to me during practice. Do you want to be great? Tell me what it takes to be great. What did you do today that separated you from, like, just things like that? Steve Smith is a legend at this point in time. He has no reason to come talk to me. I don't play his position.
Yeah.
I'm not in a room with him.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he took to me, and that's been my story all the way through. All the way, every stop from Carolina to Philadelphia with Darren Sproles and
D. Sproles.
Yeah, Brandon Graham.
Kansas State legend.
Absolutely. Every stop that I have made, I was only able to do what I was able to do because of the people that I surrounded myself with, and again, the people that allowed me to come up under them.
Let's talk about that Philadelphia stop.
Let's talk about
stop.
that. Let's talk about
That's the stop that got you the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about that though, because I've heard like that there's a story, like the whole situation, like that season. Like tell me about the stop is in Philly, the whole.
After my rookie year in Carolina, I had a terrible rookie year. Confidence was shot. So as you were just talking about, going from being that guy in college to now being here, it was hard. And so we were in training camp, and Ron Rivera and Mr. Gettleman came to me, and they're like, "We want to talk to you when you get out of meeting. Come."
About Ron.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to talk to you. So I get out of meeting. He's like, "Chip wants to trade for you." And Chip was the head coach of the Eagles at the time. He wants to trade for you. They've been calling for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and we think it would be best for your career to go back and get around somebody who knows you and can help build your confidence up. So they make the trade. I get to Philadelphia, and again, I walk into a situation where you have Shady McCoy there, you have Chris Polk, you have Darren Sproles, you have Deuce Staley as a running back coach. So I walk into a room of real men, of dudes that took me up under their wings, showed me the ropes. But that my tenure in Philadelphia was full of ups and downs and growth. Yeah. It was hard. That was a hard time in my life because on my own, I'm away from the network and the community that I created in Carolina. So now I'm having to start again. Then from a football standpoint, I'm not playing at all because I have Shady McCoy, Darren Sproles, Chris Polk, all these cats in front of me. So I'm trying to find my way and figure my way. But Philly made a man out of me.
Okay.
Because I had to leave childish ways behind. I had to leave a lot of things that I was doing. I had to let them go to the wayside. Otherwise, I wasn't gonna make it. It wasn't gonna work out.
You weren't working out as much. You were hanging out.
I was hanging out. I was partying.
Yeah.
I was going to the club. My community, my network had changed. So now I got around with some guys who weren't as serious about ball. So okay, now I'm about to have fun. I'm about to.
Well, if they're doing it, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
when they're making
I'm not playing.
Yeah.
I'm not playing, so we good. But Sproles grabbed a hold of me. Brandon Graham grabbed a hold of me.
Some pros.
Yeah, and again, come with me. Let me show you. Let me show you how to do this. Let me create habits in you that are going to propel you for the rest of your career. But we get there. Spent my first 2 years there. Then I ended up getting released, going to the Chargers. And while I was at the Chargers, it's funny how God worked. I was at the Chargers. I got a concussion in our first joint practice against the Rams.
Okay.
And miss a couple games. I try and rush back, have a bad game, end up getting released by them. I get a call from Sproles week 2 of the season. Philly's about to sign you back. I tore my ACL. I got hurt, but I told Howie to come get you. I'm like, okay. I get a call probably 15 minutes later from Howie. Hey, KB, this is Howie. We want to bring you back. We talked to Sproles. We think you're the guy that's going to help us in a special team standpoint. So I get back there, and that 2017-18 team, man, a lot of teams preach family. A lot of teams preach. That was the most family environment I've ever been involved in when it came to sports. When we go out, we 15, 20 deep. We go to dinner, it's offense, it's defense, it's special teams. We're not in cliques. It was a team. That was by far the greatest team that 2017-18 team, by far the greatest team I played on. Just from a standpoint of you had coaches trusting players with game plan. What do you guys think we should be doing? I'd never seen that. You know what I'm saying? Coaches create their game plans, and that's what it is. But it was it was special, man.
Doug Peters is the
Doug,
coach.
yeah, Doug Peters, yeah, Doug Peters. But if we,
Who also played quarterback.
yeah,
Yeah.
but if you were to be in the meeting rooms, man, it was like, what do you guys think? You think we should run this? Should we scrap this? Head coaches and OCs don't do that. That's not. They may do it with a certain group of players, but they're asking the entire. It was a special time, man. Shout out to Philly.
Again, listen though, it's the same thing again.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
you right? From Oregon, now he's the coach in Philly. He trades for you. Then, you time away, you're in San Diego, whatever happens. Then Darren Sproles, who's in Philly again, another advocate who's become an advocate, says, yo, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Like, when people, again, invest and put their, because they're putting themselves on the line too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it speaks a lot to your character and a lot how you make people feel about you and about themselves. So remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me about that Super Bowl Sunday.
Man, again,
Y'all are playing the Patriots, right? Is it the Patriots?
Yeah, absolutely. Tom.
Tom.
The
It's
GOAT.
Tom. That he just said Tom.
Tom.
It's
the
Tom.
GOAT. But again, this is one of those moments where you grow up as a kid watching this game. I grew up loving the 49ers. So the Steve Young, the Terrell Owens, the JJ Stokes, watching these games, as a child, you go and you're imitating these plays. So to be in this moment, it was humbling. It was humbling, and it was a beautiful thing. Just I'm in the Super Bowl, and that was kind of the overall theme. But we knew what we were there for. This was the most confident team I had been on. Before this was probably maybe a week. The week before the Super Bowl, Doug kind of got on us because if you came to one of our practice, you would have thought you was in a club. Like, we dancing, we joking, we playing, but that's the type of team that we have. So when we got to the Super Bowl, the mentality and the mindset really didn't change. It didn't change. Like,
he was like, what is it?
But he got to a place where he got comfortable with it. Like, okay, this is who you guys are.
This is who you are.
This is who you are.
This is the identity.
Yeah, this is who this team is.
Okay.
So Super Bowl Sunday comes, man. Getting dressed, laying the uniform out. You're just looking around.
Like the first day of school.
Absolutely. I gotta be fresh.
Yeah.
Gotta be fresh, but that's everybody, So it's kind of like, bro, this is a Super Bowl. Like, we here, but the mission didn't change. Get there, we walk out, we walk into the locker room. We get to go the day before, kind of get a feel for the stadium. Walk the locker room, see the lockers.
If I'm not mistaken, you could correct me if I'm wrong. It was in Indianapolis?
Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
I knew it was like, yeah.
So we get the walk through. We're going through media days and all of that. Just getting the whole experience. But when we get into that locker room, it sets in, and you understand
who was across.
You understand that guy
is over
there.
Yeah.
So there was a seriousness to it, but there wasn't with this group. It's crazy to kind of talk about. So we were there, padding up. We get to our run out right before we go out, and at that point in time, it was Meek with Dreams and Nightmare.
Ooh.
Listen. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Run out on that field.
I did songs with Mariah.
Yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. Yeah. Man, but it was a feeling that, again, it's one of those feelings that you have to be there and you have to be a part of it to really put into words.
Got it.
But we had great leaders on that team, from Malcolm Jenkins to Brandon Graham to Darren Sproles to Carson Wentz, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. We had Bradham, Rodney McLeod. We had guys.
But tell me, so let's talk about your day, though. How do you, you're in the game, and
so
the game that you had that day?
So it was again, nothing changed for me. So I'll go into my routine. I get into the locker room. I set my uniform up. Okay, I'm gonna put my arm. I'm gonna wear this armband. Get the towel. Figure out the shirt underneath. I'm in my zone. Put my headphones on. And I'm not a rap music guy on game day. I'm gonna
Okay.
listen to some country music. I'm gonna listen to some
You a
R&B.
country music
Oh, I
fan?
love country.
Really?
I love it.
Are we gonna get to that? A small step of that in just a second.
Yeah.
But
So
wait, who's your favorite artist? Country
right
right now.
now,
Right now.
right now, I would have to go. Oh, Shabuzi.
Yo, Boozy.
Shabuzi by far. By
So
far.
yeah, Shabuzi. I was introduced to Shabuzi by Timberland
Okay.
about a year ago because I manage a artist who's in the country space, who's a country artist who's also a young
Okay.
black man, and so they
Okay.
this kid Kevin Smiley and Shabuzi and we've been circling and orbiting each other. But I'm so happy for dude. I think the
Man.
last time we saw Shabuzi was at Stagecoach. We were at an event that he was at and everything, and I know I know his guy, like his creative guy,
Okay.
Sock Passe Sham, and everything. Happy for that dude,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't want. I digress, but he's having a surreal moment right now.
Man, that.
Top five at top 40, number one at country.
But his music is quality.
Yeah,
His music is
Shabuzi's
quality.
he's super dope.
He's super dope.
Super dope.
So yeah,
Okay.
you know, so game day, I'm in that country music, R&B. I may listen to some classical music. I want something that's gonna calm me. So getting dressed, and before every game, I pray with my dad. Before every single game, I'm gonna call my dad on the phone, get into a space by myself. We're gonna pray, and that kind of set the tone for my game. We get out there. I've been watching Devin Hester replays of him when he was in the Super Bowl.
He went for one in the
The
ball.
opening,
The
the
opening one.
opening, started left, went right, came back. Listen, and so in my mind, I'm like, I gotta make that kind of play. I gotta make that kind of play. It didn't happen, but I ended up having a great game from a return standpoint. I think I had four returns, 3 or 4 returns for 80 some yards, and every time that I returned the ball, we scored. We scored a touchdown. So game of field position. So
Absolutely.
just having
Offensive line and game position.
yeah,
The line of
yeah,
scrimmage, and yeah, whoever don't put the ball on the turf,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, game of field
yeah.
position.
So it
That's life,
field position, life,
right?
setting yourself up.
Setting yourself up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of those moments, you know, watching Tom Brady, you understand who you playing against. At any moment, this dude can take over this game, and I don't know, not even gonna
But
bring
y'all
it up.
handled it.
We handled it. We did our
Y'all
thing. I
handled
was
it.
about to
I
bring up
remember that. Y'all
a
handled
couple
it.
of Super Bowls before, but I
Yeah.
love Atlanta, so I'm not gonna do that. um, but you know, you get to that moment. I think it was the last possession of the game where I think he has like almost a minute and a half, minute 45 left on the clock, and you're like, this dude can absolutely
Do this.
He can do this. You get a couple plays with Derek Barnett, Brandon Graham, and then you look up and that clock is at 0, and it's elation.
How did you cry?
I tell you I didn't cry until I seen Darren Sproles.
Okay.
So when the clock hit 0, I took off running. I knew where my family was sitting.
Yep.
It's a picture of me. I got a picture where I'm doing like this. I'm talking to my family. But as I'm running around, I stop and I turn and I see Sproles.
Who's got the blown
His ACL.
and can't play?
Yeah.
Wow.
But the
And
moment
who made the call for
who
you?
made the call for me, as soon as he got hurt. So it when I turned to him, it hit me. That it was like that full circle moment. And I was like, bro, thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. Like this.
Truly.
This moment would not be happening had it not been for you. You hate to see anybody get hurt, and especially somebody who like him who's my big brother. But that's when the tears started and the floodgates open. It's a video where I'm crying, ugly cry, national television.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps. Seriously.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's when the tears started, and I couldn't stop crying. When they started, I could not stop them. I cried.
Wow.
I probably cried for about 30, 40 minutes,
Wow.
just straight, but just sheer. Um, again, one of those moments of
The journey.
the journey, one of those moments of I used to watch this game and go out and imitate plays, and now I've played in this game. Not only have I played in this game, but only 51 teams prior to us has won a championship. We're number 52. So it was like one of those moments. One of those moments.
Amazing, amazing. Let's kind of expedite a little forward. So, career, you know, whatever, you end up with 3 rings, right?
Yeah.
And an amazing thing. But then the thing that they talk about, life after football,
Yeah.
life after the NFL. What is that looking like for you these days, and what were the initial days like?
So the initial days, so I
Or the initial
officially,
time, you know what I mean?
so my last, this is my first year actually being retired.
Okay.
This will be my first year actually being
Okay.
retired. Last year, I made the decision, if I wasn't picked up by October, November, then I would call it. I had been battling an injury from Tampa from 21 season, I believe it was. So I was battling through that once I got healthy, and then got to the point, okay, if I'm not picked up by this time, then we're going to refocus and change what we're doing. It hasn't been hard, and a lot of people say, I'm going to hit that wall. I've never just seen myself as a football player.
That's beautiful.
My identity has never been in football. I've always seen myself, and I've always known myself to be more than just a football player. Football wasn't who I was, it's what I did. And so because I've always had that mentality, the transition hasn't been what it is for other players. So what it looks like for me now, I'm involved in commercial real estate. I'm involved in public speaking. Have a couple other things going on. Me and my fiance have some things shaking up, but
Beautiful.
yeah, and I'm actually getting time to be a dad. I've been gone for 10 years. My whole career was in the South and on the East Coast. And I'm getting time not only with my kids, but with my family that I haven't had in 10 plus years.
It's a beautiful time, right?
Man, you don't really realize, when it comes to especially my youngest, every time I would come home, he was somebody different. Every time I come home, he was doing something different. So it's like, you don't realize how much time you're missing or what you're missing out on. But being here and actually being able to be present, and I've missed my family. I miss my kids, and getting time with family that I haven't had in a long time with my cousins and stuff. So it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And I'm more excited about this second phase rather than the first phase of my life, because the first phase was all I've done. All I've done was sports. So now it's a time of finding a new niche and finding my groove in this, and it's an equation that has to be figured out, and I'm enjoying the process of it.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you taking the time to just come and give a snapshot. I think your story, for those who are going to have the opportunity to watch this, is going to be, again, resilient, inspired, ordained steps, right?
Yeah.
Family, and just we still moving, man.
Yeah,
It's a
we're
lot
still
to do.
shaking. Yeah.
It's a lot to move and shake until you clock out. You moving it. You moving. And we gotta pop up on him in Oregon. We have to, man. Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Hall of Fame day.
Yeah.
One last thing I gotta ask you.
Okay.
You are, I also hear you have a passion for the game. I would be remiss, and we might have to find a place to put this, because I was gonna ask you about this NIL, right? You came from what you talked about is it's like family,
Yeah.
the camaraderie, the identifying that you want to pour into somebody. The NIL, I think, has changed that.
It's completely changed the game. I love the NIL.
I love it
I love it.
in terms of like these. Yo,
Kids,
y'all should have got
kids getting
getting what they
these
deserve.
institutions are making millions,
Billions.
hundreds of millions
Yeah.
a year off the backs of these kids.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. But it's changing what college football is.
Collegiate sports as a whole.
Yeah, it's changing the landscape of it to where it's becoming more money based than it is about the passion for the game.
Yeah. Who's gonna give me the
Who's
bigger
gonna give me the
check?
bigger bag?
As opposed to like, I want to go play. I'm sure for you it's like, I want to go play for this coach.
Yeah.
I love the way he recruited me.
Yeah.
I love this system.
Yes.
I love where this university is. This is going to fit me. Now it's like, well, maybe this will just be a pit stop. This will be one of 2 or 3 steps
to where I can get it back.
And especially in I see it in basketball, you know, because I saw this thing with John Calipari. He was saying that he's changing how he's recruiting. Because he was like, last year my players were playing against grown men. There were guys that were 24 years old, and I got 18-year-olders playing against them. So now I have to sort of revamp how he rocks. But again, I digress. My question to you is, one is the NIL, but also if you know, let's say you're the head of at Oregon, the head of player development, and you got this player coming in and having the experiences that you've had with these different mentors, how do you talk to this new NIL guy? What are the things that you're imparting on him about what his college experience could look like and whatever?
I think first you would have to start, because now money is involved. You got an 18-year-old kid coming into a college getting paid $500,000, $750,000. You have to be able to communicate with him where you can kind of help position him to not be used by those that surround him.
Yeah.
Because family can become users, friends can become users. So you got to kind of reach them on a level to listen. This money don't last forever. This
is the first.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be the last.
Yeah.
This is a building block, a huge building block.
Huge building
a lot
block.
of money that other people won't see.
Yeah.
That chunk of money in a life, they'll see it over a lifetime, but in that moment, to see that kind of money.
So from a standpoint of like, set yourself up for the future.
Buy a house.
From somebody that I've seen both sides of it. We didn't get into it, but after my second year in the league, bro, I was on my way out money wise. Before I signed an NFL contract, I probably had $100,000 in my pocket. Then my rookie year was 405. I wasn't splurging on cars, jewelry, or anything like that, but I wanted my family to see everything that I seen. If I was going somewhere, I wanted my brothers there. If we're going to eat, I'm paying for it.
It's a lot of money.
So if I was somebody in that position, I would be able to speak to these kids from both sides of it. Somebody who had money, lost money, and got money back and knows what to do with money. So I would be able to speak to them from that standpoint of, listen, you don't owe anybody anything. You don't even owe your parents anything. Position yourself to set yourself up for the future. And then go back to that community thing. Surround yourself with people that are going to help you and not limit you or subtract from you in a way that you won't be able to recover from.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, brother.
Bro, we gotta have we gonna have another conversation. We already said we locked in.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Yo, I'm so serious about
something. It's done. No, for real.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
and I know my
and
family.
Also let's call Ed and George today, or get on text with them and be like, I had your young boy up here.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys, live again, but leaving Culver City, the Blind Barber, Yo, this guy, we're just beginning to hear his story.
Appreciate
We're
you.
just beginning to hear his story. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, a sweet life.